Today we're taking a look at Codigo 1530 Rosa, and we're going to do a tasting and review right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre. Today we're super excited because we're doing a tasting and review and taking a look at Codigo, Tequila Codigo's 1530 Rosa. Now, I've never tasted this before, so this will be the first time tasting it for me as well right here on the video. We're not going to do a dive down at the bottle because the bottle that I do have is a 375 milliliter bottle, and it's pretty basic, not really much to look at, so we'll skip that part, and we'll just get into the tasting and review and kind of going over how it's made. So right now, let's start with how it's made. This tequila is made at NOM 1500. Now, if you're wondering why I say these NOM numbers at the beginning of the video, that is the distillery designation that is assigned to them by the CRT. So anytime you look at a bottle and you see an NOM number on it, that will tell you who makes the tequila. So the NOM on this is 1500, which is Tequilera Las Juntas, and it's located on Metitan, Jalisco, which is in the Los Valles, or the Valley region, the lowlands region of Jalisco. Now, they use 7-year-old agave for this, and the reason why they select 7-year-old is they're trying to maximize the starch sugar content in their agave. So after they harvest the 7-year-old agave, they use an autoclave to cook the agave, and they use a high-pressure autoclave. Now, there's a difference. Some of the tequila makers will use a low pressure. Some will use high pressure. So with the high pressure one, they can cook the agave a lot faster in as little as 8 hours, where with the low pressure, it typically takes, they'll let it cook for somewhere between 24 to 48 hours before they've converted all the starches in the agave to sugars. So which provides the best flavor profile? Well, that's up for debate. It all depends on personal preference. So I'm not going to get into which one I think is better. I've had good tequilas from companies that use high pressure, and I've had good tequilas from ones that use low or no pressure. Okay, so after the agave is cooked, they're then the sugars are extracted after it is ground. It is then extracted using a roller mill. And then after that, it is then fermented in stainless steel tanks. And then it is 2 times distilled in stainless steel stills. Now, one of the things that a lot of people look at is in the distillation, when you use a stainless steel still, you typically want to have some copper involved. And the reason why is copper interacts as a chemical reaction with some of the distillate to take some of the nasties out, some of the stuff that adds foul flavors and foul odors. And when you use a straight stainless steel, still you're missing that copper. And typically the more copper you have, the better the flavor is going to be of the distillate. And what sometimes they'll do with a stainless steel is if it's a column, they'll pack it with copper, or they'll add a coil with copper, or they'll do something with copper in it to have that chemical reaction to take some of the nasties out. I'm not sure whether they have copper in this still or not in any place, but most likely they probably have some kind of copper involved in the process. So after it is 2 times distilled in stainless steel stills, it is then placed in a French oak Napa Cabernet barrel where it is aged for 1 month. Now, being that it is aged for 1 month, it also means that under the Norma guidelines, this is considered a Blanco, because Blancos can be aged up to 60 days in wooden barrels. So this is actually considered a Blanco, but it's going to have, they call it the Rosa because it picks up the Cabernet color to it, gives it kind of a Rosa, a light red ish kind of tint to it from the French oak Cabernet barrels. So that is how it is made. Let's get right into the tasting. Let's see how this bad boy tastes. All right, so let's get into the bottle. I'm going to pop the top on. This is a brand new bottle. I have never tasted this tequila before. This is the first time. I have had another tequila that was aged in wine barrels, which I ended up liking a lot. It's called Excelia. It's made by Carlos Camarena out of La Altaña up in the Highlands. They use a different kind of wine for that than this. And I have the Añejo and the Blanco from that. Even the Blanco is rested in the wine barrels for a little period of time as well. And it has that, it actually has a nice wine flavor to it. But Excelia is no longer made. So if you can find those bottles out in the wild, I recommend picking them up and giving it a try. I may do a review of that tequila, even though it's no longer made, just so if you see it in the wild, you know what you're looking at. All right, so let's pour a little bit of this in here, a little taste, and see what we got. All right, so here we go. You can see it's got that light kind of pinkish, peachish kind of hue to it. It might not show it well on the camera there. It may look a little, looks like it looks a little yellow. In real life here, it has kind of a pinkish kind of hue to it. And then if you look at the legs and stuff on it, it does have some legs dripping down. It does coat the glass pretty well, so it's probably going to have a little bit of a creamy mouthfeel to it. It's not overly coating. There's not a whole lot of legs and tears on it, but there's some. You can see them there. See them right there. All right, so let's get into what it smells like. Let's check out the nose. All right, I definitely can get Cabernet. I definitely pick up the wine on it. There's a lot of alcohol on the nose. I am definitely getting alcohol. I'm getting kind of a grape. It's very grapey, very fruity. It also has like a floral. Definitely very, very floral. It's got lots of floral notes to it. Can really, really smell that Cabernet on here, even though it's only been rested a month. I'm getting a little bit of cooked agave. Actually, I'm getting quite a bit of cooked agave mixed in with the floral and the grapey, fruity notes from the wine. It has a very interesting nose to it. I find it very interesting. It still has a lot of alcohol in the nose, though. It's only 40%. It does have a mineral kind of a nose to it, too, from the water. You can definitely smell the fresh water in it. But it's got a little bit of cooked agave and then that grape, that winey Cabernet smell to it. All right, so let's get into the tasting now that I've kind of sat here and obsessed about the nose on it. Whoa. All right. This is very aggressive on the heat. It's very hot. If you're a person that likes smooth tequilas, you know, that go down smooth, this is not one of those. This is not smooth at all. The flavor profile is pretty interesting on this, though. It's different. But it's definitely got a lot of heat on this thing. Definitely getting cooked agave on the front. It's got a floral. It's very flowery. It's very floral on the mouth as well, on the palate. It has kind of a fruity hint of grapey fruitiness to it. I'm getting a little bit of pepper on it too, but this heat really just sticks with you the whole time too. On the finish, I'm getting a lot of heat on the finish too. It's a long finish on it. It has a little bitterness coming through, like in the middle of it. It's almost I don't know if it's from the tannins from the wine, but it has that bitterness, and it has a little bit of funk to it, but it's not overly obnoxious. It kind of blends with the palate in a way that's not offensive, but it's still there. And then on the finish, I still get heat. I'm getting a little bit of the baking spices from the cooked agave on the finish as well. But right now, I've got a lot of heat that's still sitting right here in the throat and upper part of my chest. So what do I think of this? Well, would I buy this again? No, I don't think so. Would I recommend you try it? You know, yeah, it's not 100% offensive. It's not something that I think I would enjoy. I think the Excelia, which I can show you. I have my shelf back here. I think the Excelia is done a lot better. If you can find this out there, I think it is far better than this Codigo is. Well, should you buy it? Should you try it? If you can find the 375 milliliter bottle like this, it's $30. I got it for $30. Yeah, pick it up and try it. I'd be interested to hear what you think of it. I know some people I've talked to, some people I know like it. I think for me, it's not for me. And the thing that's off-putting to me on it is the burn. I still feel the heat right here in my chest, which I normally don't get that from a well-made tequila. I think that normally when you get the burn like that, it stems to either a fermentation issue or a problem with the distillation, where it's either too much heads in the distillation, or they just didn't make the cuts right on it. But it really has a kind of a harsh burn to it. I was hoping that this I'd get some of that Cabernet flavor, which there's some in there, but it really lends more of a floralness to it. So I would say no. I would say no for me. This is a no. This is a one-time bottle. I'll drink this. I'll finish this because I bought it. But it's not something that I'm going to keep on my shelf or something that I'm going to highly recommend to people. But I do recommend, if you can find this bottle for $30, give it a try. see what you think. I would love for you to comment below and tell me if you feel the same way. On Tequila Matchmaker app, I probably would give this 73, 74 in that area, which is a meh rating. So there you go. Codigo 1530 Rosa. I vote you leave it alone. If you've had it before, you disagree with me, I'd love to see your comments below. We've got some more great videos coming up as well in the coming weeks. So make sure you click your like and your subscribe here on the channel, and that way you'll be notified too of when our new review is posted. Now let's get on to the good part, the giveaway of our Espolón 6-year aged extra añejo. All right, now it's time to give away our 6-year aged extra añejo bottle. I have plugged all the numbers for the people that have commented, subscribed, and followed us on Facebook onto a spreadsheet. I am now going to click a random number generator for the amount of entrants that we have and see who our winner is. And here we go. Our winner is David Cuozo. David Cuozo, you are the winner of our Espolón 6-year aged extra añejo. Please message me with your information. Don't forget, you must be 21 years of age to enter, and you must live in the continental United States. So hopefully you do fall in those categories. And if so, then David Cuozo, you have a bottle of 6-year aged extra añejo from Espolón coming to you. Congratulations. All right, well, that is all we have for you today. Remember, as always, life is too short to drink bad tequila. Salud.